If you were watching last week, you saw me talking with Jerry Madigan. We were talking about his book, The 5 Plateaus of Progress. He's with me again this week. Now, the whole idea behind this is to try to help make your New Year's resolutions more successful this year than perhaps last or the years before that. So we talked about awareness last time, and this time, Jerry, we're going to talk about the second plateau, which is vision. What does that mean?
Yeah, they say where there is no vision, the people perish. And I think where you have no vision with your goal, you're going to perish, you're going to fail. I think you really have to capture, visualize where you really want to be. And sometimes people misinterpret that and they say, yeah, I'd like to be there, but they actually don't want to leave where they are. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like crossing a river. Until you take your foot off this side of the bank, you can't actually step across. So the first thing is recognizing, okay, where do I want to be, emotionally, physically, mentally, work-wise, relationship-wise? Where do I want to be this time next year? Mm-hmm. Do I want to make a real change? Do I want to have something really different? And you use the power of mental imagery. You know, when hockey players go on the ice, they visualize that ball, the puck going through into the goal. Mm-hmm. They see that happening before it has even happened. So they're driven by this mental imagery to get the puck into the goal. And it has to be a powerful driving force. There's an old saying, when the why is strong enough, the how becomes easier. And the vision should be why you're doing this. If you don't know why you're doing it, you're not going to be enthused, you're not going to be excited, you're not going to have this passion in your life to accomplish this. You know, part of it is focusing too. The vision is focusing on, this is the goal I want to achieve, this is what I want to accomplish, and this is where I want to be 12 months from now.
Now let's talk about a specific example. Let's say weight loss. This is a big one for people. Oh, I'm going to be fit this year. I'm going to lose 10 pounds, 20 pounds, 30 pounds, whatever it is. And so they've got that vision. Okay, I want to be skinnier. I want to be fit. I want to be healthy, whatever that is. But what needs to happen for them in terms of this vision? And you alluded to this in terms of why it's important. It comes down to values, right?
Oh, it does, yeah. And also whether you're reactive or responsive. You know, are you reacting to something negative? I mean, how can you get very enthusiastic about something that's negative? Mm-hmm. Deprivation, you know, food deprivation, to lose weight. I think you have to focus on the positive. What are the positive benefits and the outcomes of this? What's the value? You know, are you going to have better health? Are you going to have better lifestyle? Are you going to have better relationships? These are the things you focus on, because in life we have restraining forces that hold us back, and that could be this overweight can be a restraining force to many things, but you need to have a driving force, and the vision becomes the driving force that can break through all of that and bring you to achieve the goal at the end of the day. So you have to focus on the positive, not on the negative. Don't react to the negative, but focus on the positive reasons, the purpose. We talked last week about the awareness, recognizing where you're at. One of the things is identifying the purpose, why you're setting this goal, why you want to achieve this goal.
What is it that makes people set the same goals over and over and over again every single year and then say, oh, okay, by the end of the year, well, I didn't achieve it that way. And then, of course, they get very excited at the beginning of the new year and they're like, okay, this year is the year that I'm going to do it. And then they fall off the wagon, so to speak, again.
Yeah, and you have to ask the question, well, what has changed? Has anything changed that would make you achieve it this year? Mm-hmm. What have you changed, or what have you set in motion, or what have you planned? I mean, I use the board, the breaking the board breaking exercise in my workshops, as a visual exercise to show that you can break through these comfort zones. People live in a comfort zone and they don't recognize it. And sometimes by breaking through something, they can, it gives them this psychological breakthrough to realize, yes, I can make this change. Because if you keep setting the same goals and keep doing the same things, you keep getting the same outcomes. You know, don't expect different outcomes. That's the definition of insanity. Mm-hmm. So this is the board that I use. It's just a solid pine board. But the analogy is terrific. To break through it, you need to use a karate technique. Now, the analogy is that the board represents the issues and the obstacles that you face in life, and the karate technique represents the skills and the competencies and the leadership skills that you need to break through it.
You and I are going to do this one time.
Oh, we certainly. You're going to do it.
I'm going to do it. That'll be interesting. I know I can do it, though. But some practical tips. I guess one of the big ones that you talk about in your book is really identifying 3 big values in your life.
Yeah, when you talk to people and say, what are your top 3 values? They really have to stop and think. And if your top 3 values are really your top 3 values, you shouldn't have to think about it. They should be front and foremost in your mind all the time. And if your values are driving you to create a vision for your future, you're going to achieve your goals. If they're not there, if they're not really clear, I mean, one of the exercises I do is I ask them to identify just the top 3 values in their lives, and I go through a few examples and a few tips of how to do that. But unless they identify the top values, what is driving them? You know, what is their basis? What's the foundation? It needs to be based in a firm foundation of solid values. I mean, then when you get into the corporate sector, you have to align those values with what your corporation is doing and everything else that you're doing. But this is sort of the core, the base, the foundation that you have to have.
Well, thank you so much, Jerry.
Thank you.
Looking forward to speaking with you next week. All right, so we've been talking with Jerry Madigan. We've been talking about his book, The 5 Plateaus of Progress. Now, Jerry does have some free tips that he's more than happy to share with you. And you can reach him by calling 225-3880, or you can visit online at www.madiganmanagement.com. Stay with us. We're back in a moment.